So we did a thing. Yeah, you're looking at it. This is a major purchase for us, and this is going to be a game changer for us as we move forward on our homestead. A lot of you have been seeing me wrestle with the little Mahindra over there to the left, and we decided to go ahead and upgrade to this LS tractor that you see. You know, if you're wondering what series this is a MT226E. And the E is just in reference, honestly, to it being a shuttle shift instead of a hydrostatic drive. So the Mahindra over here, we just had a forward and backward pedal for the hydrostatic drive. This particular tractor, though, as mentioned, is the shuttle shift. So we do have a gear shifter over here to that side that's got 4 gears plus neutral. And we do have a low, medium, and high, which results in actually 12 different gears. And I've been using a lot of it. I've been using it a lot in medium right now in gear 2, and it's been just fine. However, I did push some trees down earlier where I went into low. Look at that. Look at that. Holy mackerel. You want to just talk about something that impressed me? That's it right there. That's a big tree for a tractor, guys. Here we go. Gonna take another one down. Might have just got the first scratch. That's part of this, though. This thing's meant to work. And you want to talk about crawling? It absolutely crawls. Just chewing the dirt. And this spot actually hasn't been plowed in about 15 years, guys. So I was going to disc it first, and I didn't get the disc off the trailer, and the tiller was already attached. And that made us decide to go ahead and just try the tiller out and see how it would do on this ground. And I am pleasantly surprised that it just chewed through this. I mean, we did this whole garden spot right in around 20 minutes or so. So pretty impressed with it so far. One of the things that we went ahead and did while this thing was sitting at the dealer was we had the rear tires liquid filled to add a little more weight on the back. And this thing is an absolute beast. I love it. I've only got 3 hours on it so far, so that could change. But as of right now, I'm very, very pleased with the purchase in comparison to the Mahindra. The bucket picks up roughly twice as much as what the Mahindra does. It's got almost twice the capacity for what goes inside of it. You can see the tire size is astronomically different. And the cockpit is much, much better for somebody like me who's a little bit taller. Before on this tractor, my knees were kind of all up in the dash. And that tractor has a much better cockpit for an operator. So I am pretty pleased about the purchase as mentioned right now. The other thing that I'm going to show you guys is look how beefy the rear end is on this. And you guys know that's what I kept having problems with on the Mahindra. And this is one of the reasons I actually leaned towards the LS, was looking at how it was designed. I really, really like how this rear end is designed. Looks a lot more rigid than these little bitty plates that the 3-point hitch is connected to on the Mahindra. So look at that. There's your connection point on the Mahindra that we have. And don't get me wrong, I know we're looking at a subcompact tractor over here, and this is more of kind of like a mid-tier range, but look at how the box plate connects to that. Look how much more beefier the frame is in general. So we're very excited to have the beefier tractor behind us, but of course it came with some new implements. This dealer actually had a 5-foot rototiller that was used. Sadly, a gentleman had bought it. He was diagnosed with cancer. It sat in his garage for a year before him letting the tractor go back to the dealer. It was only used 3 times, and we got it for like half price. So we're going to be tilling up some gardens.
Can take no time, and it's all plowed up.
It's going to be doing a lot of stuff around here. I'm very excited. I did take a couple of scoops just a second ago out of the bank just to see how it does. You can see where I kind of spread some of that red clay. That is something the Mahindra did not like to dig in. It would do it, but we did have to use the backhoe. So if you look at the cockpit, though, of this tractor, you see you've got a steel step, metal, and the side panel on this is actually built into the hood, unlike the Mahindra over here, where the panels come off separately and actually fall off to the side. The other thing I like is I love that it's got these little things that protect the valve stems on the rims. Doesn't seem like a big deal when you're just doing straightforward dirt work if you're in a clear area. But if you're going to be clearing a field like what we're going to be doing in one of our next videos, that's going to be really handy to keep the stops from just stabbing or breaking the valve stems. The tires on the rear are massive though, and with the added weight, this tractor feels like it's very, very grounded. If you look down here on this side, you can see that you've got your filtration right here. So you've got both your filters for your fuel. You do have a prime capability right there. And the most important grease fitting on this tractor is right here. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think this is one thing that I don't necessarily like, but I can build a fix for, is that particular grease stem is sticking right out where it may could catch something under there. So I anticipate having to replace that. I mean, that's a cheap part, you know, a couple bucks, thread it in, thread it out. So not a massive deal breaker or anything like that, but I could always build a shroud to go around it if it becomes an issue. The other thing that I like about this tractor is how smooth the hydraulics are. If you've never test drove an LS before, I would recommend you going and trying this before you go big box with the brands out there like Big Orange or Big Green. This is actually one of the smoother tractors that I test drove in the last month. So buying this tractor, there were a few things on my mind. The first of which is I wanted to make sure that it could plow a field. This is something we've always wanted to do, is have a big garden. A lot of you may not know, my daughter has a really rare genetic disorder called PKU, and it affects her intake of protein. She's not allowed to have very much protein, so we're very dependent upon fruits and vegetables within our household. So this is going to save us a good bit of money just by having our own garden. The second thing that I wanted to make sure that it could do is have a little bit more lift capacity than the Mahindra had, as mentioned in the beginning of the video. The bucket lift capacity is, to the hinge pins, they want to say over 1,900 pounds. After talking to the dealer, he was pretty honest and upfront with me. He said, honestly though, he said, you're going to be right around 1,200 at the bucket. So about 1,200 pounds of lift in the front, and that is plenty of capacity for what we need it to do. Now, the one thing that I was on the fence about was going to the shuttle shift instead of the hydrostatic. I've had so many problems with the little Mahindra and the hydrostatic side of it, and how expensive the dadgum gear oil is that goes into that thing with it leaking. I was scared to death. With this thing being a shuttle shift, it actually uses the same hydraulic fluid that goes into the front end loader that goes into the rear end as well. So that makes it where if it ever does have a leak, which hopefully it doesn't, it's going to be something that's a much, much cheaper fix if I have to refill it. Hopefully we won't have that issue for a while. The other thing that I did think about was the warranty. This tractor does have a 6-year unlimited hour warranty, and basically it covers everything in between the tires except for your clutch. So there again, if I have axle problems, transmission problems, if I have the motor blow up, I am covered for 6 years, which is phenomenal. Now, whenever it comes to financing, there are a lot of deals out there right now for 0% interest, and this is not something that we went and just paid cash for, guys. This is something that we did finance, but it was something that we really, really needed, and I was going to be renting a Bobcat every other month at this point for the amount of work that we're going to be doing in the next year. So right now, LS is the only tractor company, to my knowledge, to offer a 10-year financing option, which is a little scary to go that long, but we're going to try to pay it off before that, and the interest rate is 2.99. So honestly, really not a bad scenario. So we ended up with a 22-foot dovetail trailer, the tiller attachment, a full set of brand new discs or harrows, whatever you want to call them, and the tractor itself. And our payment, along with the insurance, is right around $300 a month. So honestly, it's not going to be a bad investment for what we're going to be using it for. Again, if you got an LS tractor, let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are on it. This being a 2025, I'm not sure that a ton has changed between now and then, but it's definitely an upgrade for my Mahindra. If you enjoyed this, be sure that you're subscribed or you don't miss our future tractor videos and our homestead content, and we will see you guys in the next video.